I grew up in Weehawken, New Jersey, a little small town right across from the big city. I used to wake up in my mama's house every day, same walls, same bed. I didn't grow up with much. I just had a dream and a whole lot of heart. And she'd be right there with a cafecito and tres golpes in hand. I never thought I would host a Puerto Rican festival or produce my own talk show, let alone be in films. But here I am. You better run me over. Sometimes I would grab a sandwich from the bodega down the street because guess what? They knew my order before I would even say it. If you just walked one block up on the boulevard, there it was, big, bold, and shining bright. And this is Tales of a Latina.
You are now tuned into Tales of a Latina, the podcast where we celebrate the stories that shape us, the women who inspire us, and the raw realness of rising up Latina style. I'm your host, Katherine Nunez, and today we have an amazing guest with us. This show is all about uncovering the struggles and the triumphs that make up the Latina experience. Today's guest is not just like your regular guest, okay? She's a woman whose voice you've probably heard all over the New York airwaves, and she's not just on the mic, she's running it. From the streets to the stage, from trending topics to cultural movements, she's a force in radio to be reckoned with. Honey German is here, and she's here to stay, baby. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
I'm so excited to have you here because I feel like you represent everything that the Latina movement is all about. And I love you. I don't know. Like, I'm literally like, yes, Honey German is on my platform.
Let's talk about it, man. We're going to get into it today.
No, we really are. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us about little Honey German. What was it like growing up in New York as a Dominican woman having big dreams?
As a Dominican child, having big dreams, yeah, nah. Born and raised in Harlem till about 7th grade. Then I took it out to Long Island. But, it was a hustle. Even as a child, when you're, a child of immigrants and you live in a place like Uptown, your little head is on a swivel since you're little, So it's like born, raised, hustler. Like, that's what I'm going to say. Always, on point and just very mindful of the environment that I was in. As far as like dreams, my dream was just to make it and not get pregnant as a teen and become a stereotype. That was pretty much like the dream at the beginning.
Yes. And listen, like, I was 16 and pregnant, and my mom was like, "Oh my God,
that's a big deal.
A big deal in the Latin community in a Dominican home, like for you to like como que like dañate los planes, like
that was my father's cuco. Oh, you want to get pregnant like your cousin? Then you'll have no future. That was just like that's what was instilled in my home.
Yeah, and almost like a fear, like they instill this fear in you, going like if you 100%. Get pregnant.
That's it. It's over for you, right?
It's over. There's no more career, no more nothing.
Nada.
Entonces, so tell us, at what moment did you realize that you had a voice and that you wanted people to listen to it and that you wanted to use it for good, like to empower women? Because you said something to me. Well, you said something on a podcast, and I felt like you were talking to me. And you said, like, when I get invited to events, I sit at the head of the table, and I sit there and I make my presence known. And if people ask me to move, I move. But I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna make it known that I'm in this bitch, like, and we gonna be here. Can you tell me, like, when did you realize that you had that voice, that power?
I've kind of always been like that since I was a child. I'm what you call una presentada.
Una presentada.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
If it was school, I was going to sit in the front. And it came from the fact that I wanted to learn. I wanted to be very in tune with what was going on. I didn't want to be in the back of the class joking around and missing the lecture. And it's not that I wanted to be teacher's pet, but I wanted to make sure I absorbed what was being taught. I didn't want to get left back because I was in the back of the class joking around. So I sat front and center, right in the front. ¿Y quién me va a decir a mí que me mueva? Nadie. That was my seat in the front. Even all the way through college, I always sat in the front.
I love that. Always. I love that. That is so important for people, for young women and young boys to hear. Like, don't be scared to sit in the front.
For what? This is your seat.
Yeah,
right in the front.
Don't be scared. Sit in the front. Make your presence known. And then, si te dicen que te mueva, you move, but you still make your presence known and add value to that table.
Always. And it transferred all the way through corporate America. You know, sometimes as women and as women of color, we tend to feel like, oh, I'm going to leave all those seats for the suits and the white men and the white women when they come. No. You are just as important. What are they going to be like? Muévete.
I want to get back into your childhood because I feel like people don't talk enough about what it's like growing up in New York.
Okay.
Right. And having a dream, or like, because you said the dream was really just to make it.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like, you grew up in a 2-parent household. How was that? Did your parents support your dreams of wanting to be on radio? How was that experience like?
Well, I grew up on 151st and Broadway. It was a lot of drug dealing, a lot of prostitution. It was a fast life. You know, I wasn't really allowed to go outside and play like with neighbors or anything like that. It was we were latchkey kids. Go to school and bring your ass home and lock the door. Don't answer the door. Don't answer the phone. Don't not come outside. I did have my mom. My dad was like very in and out. He was like a Brooklyn guy. So, you know, he would go to Brooklyn, come home, maybe not for 2 days.
From Brooklyn too.
He'd be gone for 2-3 days, you know, but he tried his best, you know, to be part of our lives. But my mom held it down. We were 4 kids and she held it down. As far as my dreams go, it's weird because when I think back of me performing for my family. Like they would put on like,
what would you perform?
Like songs and stuff. Like
you sang?
Well, I didn't sing good. But yeah, there was this kid called Pedrito Fernandez when we were little. And I remember they would put on the tape and I would perform all his songs. Or Las Chicas del Can. I don't know if you know who they are.
La Chica del Can, that was my
So I would put on the tape and me and my sister Bella, I would force her to perform the songs with me. So I didn't know I wanted to be in radio, but I knew I was good with entertaining and making people look at me. But it wasn't about
pay attention to you.
It wasn't about them looking at me. It was about me entertaining them. But it was always a dream, but my mother saw it as a nuance. She did not see it as a dream or anything. Like, she was just like, cállate la boca, siéntate, tú siempre estás haciendo algo. It was a dream that was kind of like shut down before it even came to fruition. Because in a lot of Latino households, when you are a child that's loud and that's boisterous and that wants to sing and wants to make noise, they don't want that.
They want you to be quiet, quédate tranquilo.
They're already struggling to pay the bills. Now you got this kid over here singing La Chica del Can a todo lo que da, like,
right.
Cállate la boca, por favor. Shout out to my mom, I understand her now,
Yes.
She was a young mom, she was in her 20s, she was struggling. It was uptown, it was the 90s. I can understand why she wasn't there to nurture my dream and be like, oh, this girl maybe has a gift that we can, hone in on. It wasn't a thing for her. She was going through a lot of shit. She had 4 kids and my father would be in and out of our lives. So she didn't have the time for it.
What does she think about your career now?
It's weird because in typical Dominican Latina mom way, I'm just, but then she'll talk to somebody else and she'll be like, oh my God, my daughter's a journalist and she is amazing. And look at her picture. And do you realize how great my daughter is? But when I'm with her, she's like, what do you do again? I'm like, you know what I do. Don't play with me, lady.
Oh my God. I thought I was the only one. My mom does the same thing to me.
¿A dónde que tú trabajas?
Ajá. ¿A dónde que tú trabajas? ¿Y qué es lo que tú haces en Nueva York?
But then deep inside, they're so proud of us.
No, they really
are. And
are.
they'll brag to all our tias and all our tios and anybody who will listen. But then to us, it can't be, verbalized. It's a weird thing, but a lot of the times, with Dominican moms and some Latina moms, there's this tough exterior that they just refuse to let go of, no matter how old they are. My mom, you're 70.
Yes,
be sweet.
It's so crazy. My mom is 70 now, too. But my mom wanted to be an actress.
Really?
Yeah, she did. And so it's crazy because I didn't even think getting into acting was going to be a thing for me because I was a teenage mom. So I was like, oh, forget that dream.
And you're great at it. I love you acting.
But when I got into acting, I was so proud because I was like, finally, I could tell my mom what I'm doing, that she could be involved. Do you know this woman? Like, she was proud on the inside. I know she was. But on the outside, she was like, ¿y qué es esto? Like, y cuánto te está pagando? Y how much are they paying you? And she wants to know all these little details. And it's like, that's not important. What's important is that I'm here, I'm doing something I love and I'm performing and I'm actually including you in it. So I think it's just Latino parents in general, they feel it, but they don't know how to express it.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes we come from households where there's no like, I love you or give me a hug or dame un beso. It's just like, you know, it's so much disciplining. And we're raised in households where a lot of our parents were in survival mode. So if you're barely surviving, how can you be cariñosa? How are you going to put me on your lap and, you know, and rub
give
my
me
hair?
love, yeah.
No. You're barely making ends meet. Think about it now. If you were barely making ends meet, you'd be a different person.
No, literally. Like, I would not even be thinking about, and like, it's crazy because, you know, my son, he's 18 and he's an artist. And I love that he kind of followed in my footsteps un poquito. Like, I'm not a rapper, but
With the creative.
but he's a creative. And so I try my hardest to like support that, because I remember like when I was young and I wanted to do things and how I didn't get that support, not because our parents didn't want to, but because they couldn't. They no podían. So I always think about them like, whatever my mom couldn't do, I'm going to try to do for my son so I could open up that door for him. And, you know, it's you know, trying to break generational curses in a way. Not that I feel like my mom was a curse.
Well, I know what you're saying. You're breaking the cycle.
The cycle.
What was done to you, you don't want to repeat and do onto your son.
Right. Exactly. So let's get into your journey into radio. How did you get to do radio? What was your first instinct? Like, when did you say, okay, I want to do radio. This is what I want to do. And what sparked that?
I started doing celebrity news. So honeygerman.com has been around probably for like 15 years. And it was celebrity bus from Harlem to Hollywood. Because I would cover everything. I would cover urban. I would cover, you know, pop, white, black, Latino, whatever it was. And that was my gateway into media. Celebrity news was huge. Wendy Williams, Perez Hilton, TMZ, everything exploded. And I was like, I want to be a part of this because I too love celebrity news. So I launched the website and then I just started doing it digitally on social media, on the website. And then my friend Gilat, who was working for Angie Martinez, she reached out to me and she said, you know what? We were thinking that there's a job here at Power 105.1. They need a digital manager. They were like, they want you to come here and do what you do for yourself, but do it for them. Their website, their social media, the articles. And I was like, really? Send me the link. I'll apply. And she's like, oh, and you know what the great thing is? You'll get to work with Angie Martinez. And I was like, really? Okay. All right. Because Angie had what's called her trending topic hour.
Yes.
Where everything that was trending, we would discuss. And that, I applied for the job. It took months and months and months. And I was actually working as a civil litigation paralegal. I wanted to go to law school, St. John's University, and I was studying to take the LSAT. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be a lawyer who does celebrity news on the side. You know, this whole dream of being in media is not going to materialize, and I need to pay my bills. And I like nice things, and I like to travel. Vamos a ser una abogada, right? And then, girl, eventually the book ended up in the garbage. I don't know what happened to the book because I went interview. 7 months later, I got the job. And from day one, I was on with Angie. Like Angie, mentor, OG, big sis. I love her forever. She had no qualms about being like, grab a mic, tell me the story.
Right.
It was just like, it was teamwork. It was just,
so you would get on the mic with Angie sometime?
Immediately. Like,
okay.
I'm actually fast forwarding. I did do radio beforehand. Like I worked in Virginia. I did radio with Titi Torres, who happens to be one of my best friends. We did Boss Chick Radio. I also did online radio. So I went all the way to Power, but there were a lot of other places where I worked and a lot of other people that I worked with.
That led up to Power.
Yeah, that led up to being in the #1 market as my first like full-time FM radio job, which is unheard of. Most people have to move all over the country. And this is where the culmination happens in New York. New York is the mecca of radio, like #1 market still through this day. So for me to have gotten my first full-time job working in radio in New York, that's like a unicorn.
That is literally like,
and I'm forever grateful.
I love that for you. So do you ever feel like what you learned in the law industry, I don't know what to call it, the law industry, do you feel like that helps you in your current career now?
100%. I review my own contract.
Yes. I was just going to say, I'm
like, I do my own trademarks. You send me an addendum, you send me a contract, I will review it before my lawyer reviews it. I tell my lawyer, tell him take this out, tell him take that out. You know, Section 7, Stipulation A, I am not with that immediately. And even when people send me contracts, I'm like, I'm not signing this. Do you realize what this says? So everything that I learned undergrad and, you know, further, I use it till this day. And it also allows me to enter rooms and speak super eloquently. Nobody's tripping me up. You're not going to tell me one term that I'm not going to understand.
I love that. That's like, girl power right there. Cause it's like, no one can mess with you.
Like, the thing is, I spent pretty much 10 years working with lawyers, doctors, and judges. It doesn't get any more complex than that as far as personalities and language.
Yes. You're like,
and it prepared me.
And no lie, that's why I was a little nervous interviewing you today, because I'm like, yo, this is Honey German. We ain't playing no games.
Listen,
this is not a regular person.
Nah. Not even. You know what's so crazy? It's like a lot of people see me and they think I'm much more serious than what I really am. But it comes from that whole, you can't let people play with you personality. As soon as I'm like, set the line, don't play with me, don't play with me, don't play with me. But behind, like, when you get to know the real me, I am a goofball.
You are a sweetheart. A goof. I
all that. Yeah, I like to have fun. I love that.
And I see you on the ground. I see your stories sometimes. You have fun. You know I have fun.
Oh, I definitely have fun, but also I represent a brand, so I have to be
so you have to be very
careful.
Yeah.
Like, I have to carefully curate my
social
posts,
media,
because it's like, we are told you represent a brand. You work for iHeartRadio. What you put on your social media is a reflection of us.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I might want to take a stance on something, and I'm like, you know what? I can't.
Right.
Because you can jeopardize, your job, your career.
Politics.
I try to really sit out the politics, and, I give back in my own ways, and I make sure that I champion, the causes that are really dear to my heart. But sometimes I got to know when to sit it out.
Yeah.
And let my other peers do the work.
Yeah, I get scared talking about politics, and primarily because I'm not into, I don't really know too much about politics, and I know what I believe in, I know what I stand for.
Our core values, yeah.
But I don't know if that resonates with everybody. And being a public figure, sometimes that can get tricky, so I just stay away from it too.
It's the best thing, because it also brings a lot of negativity into your social media space.
And I don't need that.
We don't.
I already got sometimes I get a little negative hating comment,
but I all do.
I ignore that, or sometimes I clap back if I have time. Depends on the mood. Si tengo un chin de tequila and I'm in the mood, you're getting it. But if not, then I'll just bypass it. But let's talk about, because you mentioned earlier that you are the digital content manager at Power 105, but you're also the music coordinator. Can you tell us what that's like? On top of being an on-air personality, you kind of juggling a few hats. How do you balance that?
I pretty much throughout the day, I just touch and go everything that needs to be. If I need to record a commercial, I'll stop down. If I need to do something digitally and make sure that something with the Breakfast Club or A Way Up With Yee is handled, or Angie Martinez is handled, I'm on all day. I'm talking 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I don't really segment my day in any which way. It's whatever needs to be done at that moment. Because our day is very much what happens today. What news broke? Is this on our website? Is this on our TikTok? Is this on our Facebook? It is a lot, but you can't be a one-track-minded person to work in the position that I work in, because at any moment it's just
things can change.
Switch it up.
Yeah, everything's subject to change, so you got to be able to adjust.
And every day you have to learn new ways to work with digital. Everything today is just hashtags are dead. Nobody use hashtags ever again. Okay, now Reels has an editing app. Let's start using that. Or YouTube now has Shorts. So it's a job that's ever changing, and every single day, if I have to be retrained to do my job, I'm with it.
I love it.
Gotta be fluid.
You are literally a one-woman show.
Hey,
I can come to you for pretty much anything. Your lawyer, your media personality, the music coordinator, the digital
I'm a life coach. But most importantly, I'm a life coach.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
You become kind of this cultural connector. Let's talk about that influence. How do you stay tapped into what's trending while keeping your own authenticity? How do you stay on top of what's trending,
mm-hmm.
The stuff that's popping, but still staying true to who you are? Because you might not connect with what's going on in every day, what's trending.
So what I pretty much try to do is I keep on top of what's trending in the hip hop world, because I have to make sure everything that's trending is visible on the Power 105.1 socials. Also with Latinos, I make sure everything that's trending with Latinos. So it's not about keeping up with it, because I pretty much live hip hop and live my Latinidad. So it
comes natural to you.
Yeah, and then we also have a lot of meetings. Today we had a 1-hour meeting about digital things. So it's iHeart keeps us really in the loop as far as what's trending, what's happening, and which direction we're going in.
So you also work with their bilingual like content?
Mhm.
Like that's your job. Like, are you in charge of like how important it is to speak directly to both the English and the Spanish speaking community? How do you go about it? Like, what's your strategy on that? Like,
Well, with that,
how can I incorporate both English and Spanish into this segment or whatever?
Well, with that, it's just always, about using my voice. It's just like, guys, today is Cinco de Mayo. We understand, can we get Breakfast Club to explain Cinco de Mayo is not, the Mexican Independence Day. It's about just telling them everything that, needs to be touched on. Or, someone was filming a joke around the time that the Dominican Republic tragedy happened. I said, absolutely not. That comes down. It is not the time. It's just about being very culturally in tune and not being afraid to use your voice.
Right. Because a lot of times people are scared, but you're not.
Immediately I saw that. I said, guys, this is out of line. This is not for today. Save this for another day. Dominican Republic is still mourning. We can't make a joke right now. Even though it was not about the Jet Set tragedies, it was a joke around Dominicans. And I said, nope. And you know what? So many people said, I thought so. Oh, I thought it was a problem too. Oh, I thought about taking it down. And I'm like, this is the reason why we all have to speak up. If you see something, as corny as it is, see something, say something. It's just like, okay, so 4 other people thought it and I'm the only one that said it. Come on, guys. We got to do better.
But that just shows the power that you have, like, and just what you bring to the table. Like, that's why people respect you, because you're not afraid to speak up. You're not scared to say, hey, this is wrong. Like, we shouldn't do this. And just don't ever stop doing that.
I won't. Like, that's the reason I'm there.
And that's why I think so many women look up to you as like a mentor and someone that motivates just women. And you also focus a lot on body positivity. Like, I see that you're very like, this is me, this is how I am, this is my body, love me or hate me. And I love that, because I struggle with, like, it's called body dysmorphia, where I feel like, oh, I'm not like, I don't always feel confident, even though I exude confidence, because I always want to make other women know, like, listen, be confident, love yourself no matter what. But like, how do you navigate that? Like, how important is it for you to be that kind of mentor to women?
What we have to realize is just like, our body is really a case for what is our soul, our essence, and our spirit. And we can't solely focus on the outside. It's just like, this is like una maleta, and everything else that's inside is really what's valuable.
The luggage.
When you lose your suitcase, it's not the suitcase you're crying about. You're crying about what's inside. And, we have to really, really focus on like the value of our, our voice, our experiences, what we bring to the table. And I understand, listen, I want to be beautiful. I want to be sexy. I want to be healthy. And I work on it every day, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not going to be like, oh, just because I'm plus or just because I'm on the heavier side, I can't exist or I can't be popular. No. What your body is just I guess the maleta to the rest of you.
Because my body has changed since I was young. Like, I'm on the thicker side now. I used to be like a size 0, a size 1. No body, nothing. Even after I had my 2 kids. And so when I was skinny like that, I had body dysmorphia. And I was like, oh, I wish I was thicker. I wish I was a little curvier. I wish I had some, a little something to grab onto. And now that I got it, I'm like, damn, I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was.
You are perfect the way you are right now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
you. Really are.
Too. You're perfect. But but that confidence is something that, people work on. How do you work on building that confidence? Tell us like what you do every day to say, like, to just walk out and feel that confident energy.
My day always starts with a sermon. I am very in tune with God. I'm a God-fearing woman. And, I feed my soul before I feed my body. That's just the bottom line. And, for the past 5 years, I've been working on my fitness. I make sure I hit the gym a couple of times a week. I'm very careful what I eat. You know what I'm saying? I've lost about 40 pounds since I first came into the industry because I prioritized my health. And I did it all through diet, natural foods, a lot of salad, a lot of water. And I'm not going to lie to you. I feel a lot much better now, 40 pounds lighter. I'm more comfortable going to a podium. I'm more comfortable sitting down on a panel. So I'm not going to lie to you and be like, it doesn't matter the way you look. You know, if you're not happy with the way you look, as far as like not feeling confident or maybe not even going for your dreams because of the way you look, you can change that. Diet, exercise, meditation. I do yoga. I do whatever it is. I used to do spinning. I've done Pilates. Like I try everything as far as like trying to just better myself. And it's not even physically. I just want to feel like confident and like I can not let my body hold me back from going for something.
And like you said, it's on the inside. It's not on the outside. It's like how you feel inside is really how you present yourself and how people are going to see you is how you feel.
It is, and it's crazy because I never wanted to be a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to feel confident.
Are a bad bitch.
I just wanted to be confident.
Okay.
I just didn't want to feel.
First of all, her man came in here. He was fixing her chains, her jewelry, because she's sparkling like a bad bitch.
Listen. My husband holds it down. I'll tell you that much.
I see that on social media. I love that. I love your relationship dynamic. Like you do everything together. And I'm in a relationship too, but we don't do everything together. And I'd be like, why you don't want to fucking
There's some things that he won't do.
Everybody's different, right? But like that's how do you balance? Okay, so being in a relationship in the industry, tell us about that, because that can be hard sometimes, you know, like depending on like how your man is or how your husband is, if he's comfortable with you being in the street, going on interviews, going to all these shows, all these events. How do you balance that? How do you balance your relationship and your work life?
I think I kind of learned a lot from him, and in ways I've kind of like become sort of like him. And I turn on that masculine energy when I'm in spaces where I feel like someone might want to come on to me or someone might want to, you know, cross the line. I just turn it on. And we all have that masculine energy. There's two sides to every woman.
Yes.
And you could turn it on. And you know, sometimes he's like, you got to stop. You're becoming like me. And I'm like, yeah, you taught me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. He's from Brooklyn. He don't play those games at all. Like when I pull up to places, he's like, I got this. I'll be like, talk to him. And it kind of like creates like a buffer.
I love that.
When it comes to like, but I don't feel like I've ever been disrespected or like people try to cross the line. And I do attribute it a lot to turning on that masculine energy. What up? Fist bumped. Because it's kind of like, it goes hand in hand. Men can feel that sense. When you pull that wall up,
they know. Don't
play with me. They're like, nah.
That's right. Be intimidated.
Exactly. Don't play with me.
Because I had a lot of people tell me, a lot of men too, I'm intimidated. Like I don't really. And good.
I'd rather you be intimidated than be all carifreco all in my face. My guy, please. 5 feet, please.
Right. COVID again. Like, can we go back to that?
I know, but I take my husband anywhere and everywhere. I travel with him. If I do events, I'm like, listen, my +1. And he's a real one. He doesn't care what it is. He'll be like, you're here. Do this. If there's a problem, if something's breaking out, he's like, let's go. If I need him to handle the money, he'll handle the money. He's super well-versed when it comes to like holding it down in the industry. If I don't want to talk to somebody, if I want to say no, I'll be like, tell him no.
I love that. And he's the last somebody to say no for you.
He'll be like, blame it on me. He don't care. He'll be like, blame it on me.
That's amazing. So that's a great support system.
He's been super important in my career as far as like, you got this, encouraging. When I wanted to give up, because there's been instances, don't get me wrong, where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. This is too much, or something feels very overwhelming. He's like, regroup. You got this. Deja tu mierda.
So he keeps you grounded, like, 100%. In this fast-paced industry.
100%.
I love that. All right. So, you know what? Now we're going to get into the fun part of the interview.
Oh, there's a fun part.
Yes. The rapid fire, questions. They'll get it quick, chisme in 60. But you got to answer 5 questions in 60 seconds. Quick.
Dale.
But first, we're going to take a sip of this drink. These drinks are curated by Sveta NYC. And
Sveta. Oh, they put in work for this drink.
They put in work.
This is art.
I got the Chanel bag.
This is art.
These are called the Tales of a Latina drink. I love you. It's cute. So let's take a sip, because I want you to be inebriated for these questions, because I don't want you to be you can't be in the race.
Katherine, you do not need me drunk to be crazy, okay? Didn't I just tell you I used to perform as a child?
Drink up. All the way. Oh.
Oh, you don't know.
Is that enough?
That feels like I'll be.
That's enough. You'll be inebriated. Okay. All right, girls. So get ready. We're doing these questions. Got to answer really quickly. Okay.
I'm ready.
Quick chisme.
Dale.
What's your proudest moment in your career so far?
Stepping out on stage at that powerhouse at Newark Prudential Center and presenting. I almost died. It was 10,000 people. I did it, and I made it.
You sure did. And I knew you would.
And I repped our Latinos when I got up there. Hey.
Latin power, Dominicanos. Okay, your most unexpected celebrity encounter.
Whoo, powerhouse again. I'm just hanging out backstage, and they're like, honey, come here. I'm like, what's up? Can you interview Cardi B right now? I'm like, ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está?
¿Dónde está? But that's like sis. Like she.
Well, I had never met her. I had never met Cardi, and all of a sudden they're like, come interview her. It took like 3 minutes, and me and her were talking and interviewing.
I used to bartend where she danced at, and she was like my bestie. I would always be like, girl, I got a custom up for you.
Well, that was different from me. This was Cardi B, the superstar.
This is Cardi B, the superstar. I know. I have yet to meet Cardi B, the superstar, but I've seen her in the airport. Like, you know, we bumped into each other, but I have yet to really. I mean, like, remember Kathy Red?
Of course she will.
She will. She loves me. But she don't know it yet. But she will after this. But anyway, one thing about radio that people don't know.
That you don't have to know every single name of every song. Before I started doing radio, I was like, I got to memorize all the songs, who sings everything. All the songs are written right there before they play.
Oh my God. Okay. So a song that is currently on repeat for you.
It's the entire Bad Bunny Debí Tirar Más Foto album.
Debí Tirar Más Fotos.
Because my husband won't stop playing it. He's Puerto Rican and he just won't quit. I'm like, enough already.
Oh my God. You got a Puerto Rican husband. I have a Puerto Rican baby daddy, but that's
another story.
Okay. So one message that you'd give to your younger self.
Listen, use your voice. Don't quiet down. Be crazy. Be loud. Sooner or later, it's all going to work out.
What's your favorite Dominican dish to eat?
To eat, not to make un sancocho.
My God. Oh my God, girl.
Con un arrocito blanco y un aguacate, un chin de limón. I'm not making it though, but I'm definitely going to eat it.
Exactly. And that's how we do around here, right? And that wraps up our interview, honey. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Keep having me.
The definition of voice, vision, and victory.
Ooh, I like that.
I love you. And I want you to tell all of our listeners on my platform where they can follow you and support you and whatever you want them to know, let them know right over here.
I am the one and only Honey German in the entire world. Can you believe that?
I know that. I know that.
HoneyGerman.com is the website. If you want me to be your life coach, that's where you can find me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's I am Honey German. And again, the only Honey German everywhere. You put Honey German on Twitter, that's me. Facebook, that's me. TikTok, that's me.
Google, that's her.
De todo.
De todo. So to everyone tuning in, remember your voice matters and your story matters. And like Honey would say, stay real, stay ready, and stay you. Okay, catch us next time on Tales of a Latina Girl. I'm your host, Katherine.